okay here at this table? Or
That's fine, yeah. As far as the new information in this case, and because of my situation, this is has prompted me to focus on the beginnings of this case, and come to find out, my dad had given you information. I wanted to see it with my own eyes as far as the policy was created by him prior to not having a power of attorney. So the policy date, the claim date was made prior to power of attorney, according to my father, which means they never changed, even after they had the power of attorney, they never changed the claim number, which means I'm not connected to this claim legally in any way, which means everything that transpired after that is
okay, here's the claim number here.
Right.
All right, so what are you saying now?
I'm saying that my father filed this claim
on your behalf?
On my behalf, but as far as State Farm accepting it, the legal pretensions say that they have to have a power of attorney, which they achieved after they created the claim.
Yes.
So
yeah, the power of attorney is dated after that date there, right?
Right, and this is what I wanted to focus on my defense, because in conjunction with this, I have a witness stating that the insurance adjuster, the only one person I had talked to with State Farm, that had lied to me and withheld information all the way through to the preliminary, which also, according to policy regulations, with collaboration of the state prosecution, had knowingly kept my dad out of that courtroom when he had information as a third-party policyholder, and he was supposed to be in that courtroom. Now, I can't prove that the state had done that, but I can prove that the insurance company adjuster had lied to my dad and had lied to myself. I also had found out that this policy, this statement of loss that I had filled out on a fraudulent policy on behalf of the insurance company, was also annotates the fact that I am not acknowledging any monies being paid out on my behalf when it comes to fair or value loss, as far as a claim under the policy. That's the money that they gave to my father, and this all coincides with testimony from Mike Haire. The fact that part of his testimony was that I had received a benefit, which I had not, and I can prove that. My father had written checks. They sent checks in my name to his address, and he had forwarded those to the landlord. And an analogy I had created from this is, if you have two farms, okay, and a truck's driving by and has to deliver apples to one of the farms, and he gets the wrong farm. He drops the apples, and the guy's like, okay, you can drop them. Is it the guy's fault for accepting the apples, or is it the guy who made the wrong turn and dropped the apples? It's the person that was driving that truck, and in this case, it was State Farm Insurance Company.
So what are you saying now? So what's your defense?
My defense is that I am not...
You never made a claim?
Right, exactly. I never made it. This claim was never officially made and put in place by myself, because, and there's two main things that would prove that, as far as the claim date, when the claim was actually created and by my father, and the power of attorney when that was actually signed by myself.
Signed on June the 5th.
Okay, this was signed on June the 5th. Now we have to find out when the claim and I don't even know this.
Well, obviously, the claim number, here's a letter dated June the 2nd, so obviously
So that shows, yes. So that is my defense, that everything that happened after this situation completely leaves me out of the loop on all of the claims that are made by the state and by the insurance company. Because of these two main documents. Exactly.
You never asked the insurance company to pay for the loss.
I never had made in a claim. Now, I did fill out a statement of loss on a claim that didn't exist, and this is also because like I said, part of the testimony that was given was the money that had been paid out, that the testimony in the preliminary that Mike Haire had testified to was receipts for additional living expenses and under a fair rental value loss. And I put this document actually coincides. And the reason why I had filled this out was because the insurance adjuster had told me that I could preserve a claim, because I told him, and I have a witness to this, my wife had overheard the conversation. She heard word for word what Mike Haire was telling me. He said if I filled this out, that would preserve this claim. I filled it out under a acknowledgement that no money had been paid out on this claim, and that the claim is secondary to the investigation, and that's my intention for this claim. At this time, this happened prior to the preliminary. When he got to the preliminary, that is when I learned that money had been in fact paid out on this claim, and he withheld that information. He withheld the information that he had paid out a claim to my father, because in the hospital, and this happened.
So to make you a claim?
Well, he had he never took into account that the claim was actually valid from the beginning, and on top of that, he lied to continue. He could have said, well, he could have just bypassed this and not caught it. But what I'm saying is that he went out of his way to withhold information from myself, because when I was in the hospital, he had, and he's listed as a witness on the warrant for affidavit, because I talked to this individual. He can't claim he didn't talk to me. He had told me that this is your claim, and I will not pay any money out on this claim if you say so. And I told him yes. In light of the investigation, I would not like to make a claim under this policy at that time for fair value. And he went behind my back at that point, told my dad something else, and issued a check. And those checks will substantiate where those checks went, and the documents behind that will substantiate this story. And that's my defense, and that's how I came to light that the investigation initially in this case is null and void, because the cause came after the supposed fraud that was in an image to prosecute me, and that's where we're at today. That is my defense, and I still believe that according to our agreement, you would still have to defend me in this light, because, and I just learned this stuff today, this actually secures it, because you told me I have to get investigators, that if this were true, then yes, that would be valid, but because it's not, my rights, I feel that it's my right to focus on this, which would make cause not even be a factor pertaining to the falsified claim.
Your defense is you never made a claim.
Yes.
Okay.